everybody.
That's good. You
You
have
can
someone.
stand and join in music, or you can just enjoy it from where you're sitting.
I was working. Stand.
Unity Center of Stockton. That phrase right there is becoming more and more powerful with each and every week. And we also welcome everybody that's watching online now or in the future. We bless this sanctuary now with prayer. Let us pray. We give thanks for this day, for the presence of power that is instilling in this ministry and all that comes with that. We bless this ministry knowing that we are on a very special mission. we have a very special purpose. And we honor the divinity in each moment that we have together to come together and not only see, but propel this divine ministry into its highest and best expression. We give thanks for this in the name of the indwelling Christ, and by the power of our dwelling word, we say it can be no other way. Thank you, God. Amen. Dawn.
Thank you.
What's next? Okay. Welcome, everybody. As you know, our leadership here is Reverend Tony, and Maria is handling the technical and also music as well. Double duty. Gladys is our usher today, and yours truly handling these duties. All right. Yay! Okay. Our vision and mission statements. The vision statements: we are an expanding community of conscious evolvement, bringing timeless wisdom. We'll welcome all who are in search of a higher purpose and a greater connection to the divine presence in each of us. Our mission, let's read it together. Unity is to raise awareness and understanding of unity principles and universal truths which inspire a higher level expression of living. Now we'll take a moment to say howdy to everybody, so everybody stand up and either a handshake or a hug, whichever you prefer, or simply a namaste.
Yeah, we can do it. I want to breathe right there.
It's always good to say howdy to everybody and get started on next. We have class coming up March 6th.
Quiet.
Thank you, Darlene. What do you call that? The bailiff. Darlene, okay.
Let me say a couple of words about this.
You bet.
This is the book that we're using. This class right here is a classic Unity class, and it can be taken for credit or not credit. So what that means is, if you take it for credit, it's one of the requirements to become either a licensed Unity teacher or a minister. And so that class will begin the first Sunday in March, and it will last 10 hours, an hour for each class. So if you're interested, get with me, give me your email, and order this book right here. So it's Unity House, or maybe even Amazon might have it.
Amazon Smile.
Huh?
Amazon Smile and donate to Unity. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
And so if you go to our website, universitystockton.org, there's an Amazon connection. And so whenever you order anything on Amazon, if you go in through our website first, we get a small token that goes to help support our mission here. Okay,
After tomorrow, do not go to unityofstockton.org because our new website is launching. And it is unitycenterofstockton.org, and it is a branded website. It's part of it's much more powerful than the other one, has much more facilities, and it is also linked to our new phone app, which is coming up in about 4 or 5 weeks.
okay, so it's Unity Center of Stockton.
.org, yeah.
.org. Unity Center of Stockton. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Announcement. Course in Miracles, we have 2 sessions going on. Both are covering different interpretations of the book. There's like 3 in the room. Anyway, on Monday, 11:30 to 1 o'clock on through Zoom, and then also Wednesday evening, 7 to 8:30. Both are great. I go to both of them. I think you'd enjoy it. Morning meditation every other Saturday, 9:30 to 10:15, facilitated by Israel Hurtado, and that's on Google Meet. There are links to all these on the website. And then Tuesday evening meditations from 7:30 to 8, so just half an hour on Zoom, and that's facilitated by Judy Wolf.
Judy, raise your hand.
She's not here.
Oh, I saw her up there earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay. We'll make sure come in later. All right, Daily Word, we have copies available right back here. We have small ones are $1 and the larger print are $2. So, and just put some money in the jar back there. Thank you. And the Daily Word of, let's see, we'll get to that. What was that? Go back one. Okay, we got that. Oh, here we go. And let's see. Oh, we have annual membership meeting is on February 27th. That's in 2 weeks, and that's after our Sunday service, and it'll be just right next door. Member orientation will be on February 20th. Excuse me. Our annual meeting is in 3 weeks. The orientation meeting is in 2 weeks after the service. And see, the good news is, okay, new website is on the way. We just covered that.
Yeah, the new orientation class is for those who have not yet become a member of the center. And if you're interested in that, get with me to sign up for that. No, there's no materials necessary. It's a 1-hour class about principles, and that will be held just before or after service. And then the following week is our annual membership meeting.
Right. Okay. So I look forward to seeing you there. Okay. And then you mentioned a quarterly series. What was that?
Oh, yeah, Tina, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Maria and I are together, we're trying to find locations and different ideas for the Family Sunday. So if anyone has ideas, let us know. We can meet in the store, we can get together, make a potluck or whatever, just get together and just have some fun.
Okay. Turn your room over to 3 of us mamas.
Well, that's an idea.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah. Right. Oh, anyway. Okay. We'll work out the locations later.
Yeah, the first one's probably going to be in March, so.
And prayer chaplain today is Maria Gomez. Hey, Maria. And so I tell you, whatever you have asked for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Mark 11:24. I remember Philippians 4:6 says something very similar to that, and one of my favorites. And next, daily word, and the word for today is dominion. Claiming dominion, I am calm and confident. I'm a powerful spiritual being endowed with dominion, the authority to take command of my thoughts, words, and actions. Even as I work to change my circumstances, I remember that I am not constrained by what is happening around me. Claiming dominion, I choose my response in all situations. I live with poise and confidence. I claim dominion over my thoughts and feelings. When I recognize limiting thoughts, I train myself to affirm my spiritual power and freedom. Divine wisdom guides me. I feel the strength of the indwelling Christ presence moment by moment, thought by thought, and as I use my dominion to establish a positive, fulfilling direction for my life. Then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion." That's in Genesis 1:26. Okay. And we got a little, and then Maria's gonna serenade us with a little meditation music.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. My eyes can see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets you free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love.
There is only love. There is only love. Imagine for a moment that is all that existed. Breathe in that love. Open your heart space now with me and share in this very special moment. The moment, it seems to be repeating itself, but is the one only presence. Know that in this moment, in this precious moment, that all is well, and set aside anything that tells you otherwise. Let them be released now as you allow your heart space to be filled with the peace that surpasses all understanding. Love and only love fills my heart space. Breathe that in now. Breathe that in. And with each breath, relax even further. Peace, be still, be still, be still. And from the harshness of the objective world, move further into peace, move further inward into that space where you invite understanding. As Solomon said, in all you're getting, get understanding. Become aware and know that only through humankind is God aware of itself. Breathe that space in. Allow yourself to be healed. Humble yourself to the highest presence. Humble yourself now. As you breathe and you relax even further, imagine with me that you're walking down a very peaceful path, very high row of grass over your head with a gentle breeze blowing. And you come to the end of the grass and you look out and you see a hillside, wildflowers. And you take a walk up the gentle slope and you notice the breeze across your face and the sun at your back. And there's a feeling of warmth and caring that comes over you. A feeling of being loved. A feeling of kindness, of appreciation, of joy, and gratitude fills your heart. You immediately decide to turn around and lie your back against the bank of the hill and allow the sun to bask your face. As you feel the gentle breeze crossing the skin of your face and you feel loved, you feel big, you feel peace in your heart. Let us take this peace further and allow ourselves to be healed in the gentleness of the sun. You'll feel the energy coming up from the ground for your feet. And know that the ground that your feet touches right now is holy ground. It is holy ground that is surging with the energy of the universe, moving through your body, your mind, and your soul, Kundalini energy. God above me, God below me, God to the right, God to the left. Everywhere I go, I am surrounded and infused and expressed with the divine that has no opposite. May I always be an expression of love. May I always be a stand for peace. May I always be a stand for wisdom and intelligence, compassion and joy. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you. It's so rude, isn't it? Necessary. Good morning, everybody. How do you like this setup, this orientation that we have here? You like it better than the other one?
I like the other one.
You like it better than the other one?
I feel like compacted like that.
It's more
In
personal
Star
the
Wars
other way.
when they were like.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm in that shot.
there you go. Okay, this is February, and it marks the beginning of Black History Month. When I was in Richmond, it was predominantly African American, and one of the things that I found great value in doing was a reading every week, reading of people of notoriety, people that have contributed, of African American descent, that have contributed or are continuing to contribute to American society. And so I've asked for volunteers to do a short reading on this. And the reason that we do this is because we want to become closer to oneness. And the way we do that is to recognize our contributions to each other. And especially to those of us in groups that have been ignored or even abused for long periods of time. And so until that's such time that we don't see color, and that we don't even, it doesn't even come to mind, until we have that mentality, I think it's important that we recognize Black History Month. And so our first reading today is none other than our beloved Willie Smith. Come on up here and take the mic. They need to roll around.
We're just trying to get used to everything here.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit taller than the record.
Quite that.
Okay, that's good. Can you hear me okay? Okay, the person that I've chosen to talk about is a lady named Harriet Tubman. She was a member of the Underground Railroad, and she was born in Maryland in 1820. And with this article, I'm gonna leave the article with Reverend Tony so you can read the whole thing. I wanna just try and highlight the important contribution she made to society. She was born in Maryland in 1820, and she, and when she was 5 years old, she was rented out as a slave to be a nursemaid. And when the baby cried, she got whipped, which left her with emotional and physical scars. And a few years later, she was working with a muskrat trapper, and she noticed a man who, escaped slave who was trying to get away, and the overseer was going to hit him with a heavy weight, and Harry Tubman stepped in and got hit in the head, and that accident left her with narcolepsy and physical scars that lasted her for the rest of her life. For those of you who don't know, narcolepsy means you could fall asleep without notice or any thing. So that was one of the things that happened to her. And she decided, when she was 12 years old, she decided that she would have to do something differently because there was too much suffering. And eventually, the owner of her mother and her 8 brothers and sisters granted them freedom, but the new slave owner would not give them their freedom. So Harriet, along with her brothers, 2 of her brothers, escaped to Pennsylvania, but the two of her brothers went back because they couldn't stand being free. But from that experience, Harriet decided she wanted to do more things. So she started working for the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was a method for people who were enslaved to escape. And Harriet became a conductor on the Underground Railroad. And she was very proud of the fact. It's estimated that she helped 70 enslaved people escape to their freedom. And like she said, she never lost anyone on this. And now, can you imagine this? That knowing that if you're caught, you're going to be whipped or killed. And for those reasons, because Harriet always had a gun with her to protect herself and the people she was trying to get out of slavery. So she ended up, it's estimated that she helped 70 people escape to the north and other places to get out of slavery. So I'm not going to give you a lot, but I'm going to leave this article with Reverend Tony so you can read the article. But I want to close with this. Harriet Tubman was an escaped enslaved woman who became a conductor on the Underground Railroad, leading enslaved people to freedom before the Civil War, all the while carrying a bounty on her head. But she was also a nurse, a Union spy, and a woman suffrage supporter. Tubman is one of the most recognized icons in American history, and her legacy has inspired countless other races and backgrounds. Also, when President Trump was president of the United States, they were supposed to take Andrew Jackson off the $20 bill and replace it with Harriet Tubman picture. And President Truman delayed that, but President Biden has asked that be speeded up, and this happens. So we'll hope this happens pretty soon. So thank you.
Good job, Will.
Wow, can you imagine the courage that took? I've heard that story before, and it just amazes me every time I hear that. But that's what it takes, is for each one of us to initiate that courage. Our power of the month is strength. So for us to have that courage, we have to call upon the power of strength. Strength is the power that comes from being anchored in the oneness with the presence and the power that has no opposite. Now, in Scripture, it says to those that wait upon God, will take up with wings of eagles. But if that's kind of loosely translated, what the original meaning was really is entwined with God. And so if you just transpose that, those who are entwined with God, and what we're talking about entwinement is we've woven together in oneness with God, so that as Jesus said, when you have seen me, you have seen the Father. And so this is where our strength comes from, right? Because we all know that we need strength, and sometimes we don't feel strong. But if we use the power of our strength by what? Becoming one with that which we seek, understanding that the tabernacle of God is with men, as it says in Revelation. And understanding that there is only one power. There isn't an opposite out there. There's not a boogeyman out there trying to get you. There's not an ego out there trying to get you, for those of you that think that's the case. A most important pursuit is to become one with all that is. It's the most important thing you could do, is become closer to that which seeks us. And even Jesus said that the most important commandment, the highest commandment, is to love your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. That's the most important one, because this is how we become entwined with God. This is how we become strong, is to become entwined and realize that which we seek outside of us is actually that the person, the observer. And who is the observer? We can all raise our hands, right? We are the observer. We are the ones seeking to find ourselves. And when we can't find it, we create supernaturalness outside of us. We project our divinity outside of us and then we lose what? Our strength. In order for us to recover that strength, because see, strength really is, it's a very personal living experience. You can define strength and you can objectify it and say, well, this is what strength is. But the reality of it, strength is a living experience, right? And so even though you could say, I have the potential for unlimited strength, you really are not strong until you start experiencing it. So that's what's ours to do. We can't just go around saying that we're strong. We have to step into that and own it by understanding that we are unlimited in our strength already. We already have the presence and the power that is the existential identity of who we are. Let's see, I was going to tell you a little joke. A Sunday school teacher was concerned that his students might be a little confused about Jesus Christ because of the Christian sees an emphasis on the birth, on Jesus' birth. So he wanted to make sure that the kids understood that the birth of Jesus occurred a long time ago, that he grew up and was etc. So he asked the class, where is Jesus today? And Stephen raised his hand and said, he's in heaven. Many has called on and answered, he's in my heart, one of the kids said. The whole class got very quiet, looked at the teacher, and wailed with the response. The teacher was completely at a loss, because when little Johnny spoke up, waving his hand furiously, he blurted out, I know, he's in our bathroom. And so he finally gathered his wits and asked little Johnny how he knew that Jesus was in his bathroom. Little Johnny said, well, every morning my father gets up, bangs on the bathroom door, and yells, Jesus Christ, are you still in there? I know that didn't flow well. So kindness and grace, I've talked about this before, but you can never talk about it too much, because kindness really is something that we can differentiate from being nice. You could actually say that Jesus was not nice, because niceness kind of has a pretentious kind of definition. When we see somebody being nice, you know it's a behavior, right? It's a behavior. Well, they're being nice. It refers to a behavior. But kindness, you see, may not look very nice. For example, when Jesus was overturning the tables, in the temple, maybe he wasn't being nice, but he was being kind, and I'll explain the difference. You see, kind, the root word of kind, comes from kin, right? Kin meaning, we're related. Your kin, like in families, you treat your kin like family, right? They're family. And so we kind of use that word interchangeably, kin and family, because we're of the same. And so when you act in a kind way, for example, a parent that wants to train their child to be strong may not always give the child everything they want, right? Because although that may appear to be nice, it's not very kind, is it? It's not very kind, because you're actually taking away the child's ability to learn to be strong. We talked about this with the chick and the egg, how the chick has to gain strength by learning himself to break the egg from inside, which is a great metaphor for us. We have to break many eggshells inside of us in order to have the strength to live beyond the shell, to become the agent of expression that we were meant to be, the highest expression. And so when you take away that from someone, you are actually doing it a disservice. It's not a loving thing to do. And so by allowing them to do that themselves and not rescuing them, you are being kind, although it appears that you are not being kind, not being nice. You see the difference there? You can use examples today of politicians. They're very nice. They're very nice. They'll tell you any little lie you want to hear, right? We know this. And we've gotten so used to it that we actually want them to keep telling us more lies, because it's easier to digest what they're doing to our lives. Right? The matters that they're doing are very serious, but we have become so accustomed to it and adjusted to it that we've exchanged that word niceness and kindness. Tell me a sweet little lie while you're doing something less than kind to me. Would you rather have that, or somebody that's kind and really does not know how to deliver it? See, that's always the question that we have. And so in doing that, we also have to ask us how we are being kind and who we are being kind to. Because really the kindness, if there's only one presence and one power, and there's only one consciousness, guess where this is at right now? This I am. It's in your consciousness, right here, right now. The experience that you're having right here is very subjective. It's very I am, right? Until you make it you are, right? If I make it you are, it's still I am. But what I've done is I've separated the I am, right? Now we have multiple powers within my consciousness. If I understand that as Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, which basically means that I have my path, my pathway is mine, that's the way. And the truth is, we have many truths, right? When I'm speaking here, there's probably 6 or 7 different ways this will be interpreted. And people will, that's your truth. That's your truth. And the life is really the experience that you're having, the experience, the expression that you're having, the interpretation of that, and the way, what you decide to do. Now, when you continually remind yourself that I am the way, the truth, and the life, you will keep that I am oneness that we spoke of whole. You won't divide it into a you are. If only you would do something better, then I would be happy. See? And so when I understand also, as Jesus' next line was, no one comes to the Father except through me. I can't blame things on things around me. I can certainly point to evidence of why things happen to me and include another person that was perpetrated a crime on me. I can certainly do that. But what I can't do is I can't blame people for my way, truth, and life, and my consciousness, because within me it's sort of a construct of who I believe I am. So within me, I can say, let's see, I set up my self-worth. I set up an image of who I think I am. And as Meister Eckhart says, the eye that I see God is the same eye that sees me. And so what happens is life shines back on you and looks back on you the same way that you see yourself. And it gives you that exact imprint. Embossing, it's called. So if I have an embossing, and you take an ink pad, stick it in there, and you stamp it on something else, what happens? It's an exact replica of something else. This is what happens in life, and particularly the heart. Because the heart we often ignore, but all of our beliefs and our feelings and unresolved issues go into our heart. Even the conflicts, and they come out as emotions. So they emote out in ways that affect our body. Sometimes we cry uncontrollably, things happen in our lives, but it's all become, is part of what we have allowed in our heart. So the point I'm getting at is that when you're kind, who are you being kind to? What did Jesus say? What you have done unto the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you've done unto me. Done unto who? Done unto me. Me. When I say me, I'm talking about me as the human being, not the I am, but me, my identity. So when I am kind, I'm really being kind to the presence and power that I call me, right? If I am nice, if I am in pretentious mode, then what happens? I get that back, right? It's not a punishment, it's a reflection. That's all it is, a boomerang, it's just a reflection. There's no judgment, there's only a reflection. It's reflecting back. And it's always a surprise when you forget that there's only one presence and power, and that I am the way, the truth, and life. It's always a surprise. But if you continually remind yourself that, you just know what to expect. You know, oh, I robbed the liquor store today. Guess what? It's going to happen down the road. But if people that rob liquor stores, they don't think about that, right? They don't say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. But if you remind yourself of that, you know, maybe that kind of behavior wouldn't be going on, because you realize there's a greater treasure. There's this kingdom of heaven that Jesus talked about. The gift, it's my Father's good pleasure to give you, not to have you earn it by merits or by being good. It's not Santa Claus, who's naughty, who's nice. It's your gift, it's your inheritance, it's your birthright. Until you say no. Why would I say no? Because maybe I don't think I'm good enough. And they start upper-ending in my behavior, right? I blow those opportunities because, you know, subliminally I set myself up with it's our behavior that blows those chances. And so, that kindness, one of the best ways that we can do that leads into giving grace. Now, I've talked about this before, but grace really is gratuito. It's an Italian. It's a word that really means
Stuff up,
gratitude.
but then I looked
When
at
you
it
say
and I'm like,
grace,
wait, this
you can
doesn't
almost
look right.
interchange that with gratitude.
We'll see.
The thing you want to avoid when you're thinking about other people.
No, I
is
haven't
words.
used it.
I remember when Faith Moran, she was one of the original founders of Spiritual Life Center. She eventually came into a health condition. It's a neurological condition that was a slow deterioration of her consciousness, of her brain, which represents our consciousness. And so during that period of time, she was getting lots of letters, and the letters were like, were saying sorrow and, and expressing sympathy, Nothing in those letters could help her in any way at all. What they were was expressions of sorrow. So Faith got on the lectern and she says, "Do not send me your sorrows. Do not send me." Because actually, sympathy is actually a curse. Remember, what you focus on expands. If you're seeing that person in a sympathetic way, in a less than whole way, what are you doing to that person? Is that a kind thing to do? It may appear to be nice, but generally speaking, niceness really makes the person that's doing the behavior feel better about themselves because they don't understand what kindness is. It just makes them feel better. It's a temporary fix. Because when you're kind, you don't send sympathy to people. You see them as whole, perfect, and complete. And you don't talk to them as if they're any less than whole. You see them and you send them love. You send them thoughts of healing, of wholeness, of peace. This is an act of grace, because the act of grace is always capitulated by what? Gratitude. You remember the Mark scripture? That's an expression of gratitude. Because when you actually believe something has happened, what do you feel? You can't help but feel gratitude. Your heart swells up and you say, wow. You know that you know that you know. You don't need, empirical evidence. You don't need studies on this thing. You just know that you can feel it in your heart. This is something that goes beyond anything empirical that can happen in your life. And so you know that you know that you know. That's why Paul told the Thessalonian church that in all things give thanks. And as I touched on this before, is that particularly those things that don't feel so good in your life, it's often the truth is like that. It's the opposite of what you have been taught. But then you have to ask yourself, how's that working in my life? If it's not working so well, maybe it's not the truth. So in all things, give thanks, particularly those things that are not working so well in my life. What does that do? If I'm just grateful for the feel-good things and nothing's feeling good in my life, I don't have any grace in my life. I don't have any gratitude. You don't look for some angel to come down and give it to you. That's one of the things that I will not do is tell a bunch of fiction. You are the source of your grace and your gratitude. And so when your understanding and your feeling and your knowing that the presence and power is not only around you, but moving as you, recognizing that is huge. It's huge. So how do I instill grace on myself? By being grateful for the things that maybe I don't feel good about. Let's say I'm in a bad relationship. Why would I feel grateful about that? We don't feel grateful about the circumstance, but every time that comes to mind, feel gratitude, because that gratitude is grace and it will lift you out of that circumstance into your highest and best good. If someone's in your face and they're being contentious, bring up gratitude. Always be ready to bring up gratitude. You can feel grateful in your heart and you'll feel strength. You'll feel strength, right? Because what am I doing? I'm using one of the highest form of strength, gratitude, the highest form of love. The highest form of love is gratitude. This is how I draw my strength in those times, and rely not on my own understanding, but the one presence and the one power. The all-wise, the all-powerful, has no opposite, is there with me in the moment that I feel this gratitude. And what am I doing? I am gracing, when I grace someone else, since there's only one presence and power, what am I doing? I'm gracing what you have done to the least of them. You have also done unto me, unto me. It's so powerful to know that, to be aware of that all the time, that there's only one of us. If you look around the room and you see these different faces, and it's like the icons on a computer desktop. You see them, and each one of those faces has, maybe you have a preconceived notion of what's behind there. And when you click on it, you go back in, and as you say, as I always say, whatever you focus on expands. So you click on it, then more comes up. You get more details, and you click again, and you get even more details. And what you find out is there's something very familiar about what you're looking at. Haven't I met you before? So many times that the more I go down this pathway, the more I find that there's no one that I have not already met. And by that I don't mean in a physical way, but I recognize them. I recognize them. And particularly since you have, when this habit of feeling the presence of oneness, not one of us, but oneness, which means that there really is only one presence and power. We even look at ourselves that way when we look in the mirror. That is a creation of consciousness. If I see myself separately as everybody else, I've done the same thing that I've done to everyone else. It's the reason that we grow old and die, because we're out of integrity with the truth. The truth is there's one presence, there's one power. There's one face with many expressions. But if we know that behind that icon that we click on, that there's an expression of love, there's an expression of peace, beauty, strength, and there is no good or evil. There is no duality power in my life. There is only love. There is only God. There's only an expression of strength that runs through my life. Then the way I treat others is not less than, but it is for a full benefit. One of the greatest, we're going a little over because we started late. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah. One of the persons I admire most, Mother Teresa, because, in the end, it's not about religion or theology. It's about heart. It's about people, right? This woman here had a heart. She had a heart of kindness. Kindness, not niceness, kindness. People, she said, are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyways. You see, what she's getting at, there's not someone else out there. This is your part of you that's chattering back at you, it hasn't picked this up yet, that hasn't absorbed it. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. Succeed anyway. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you are successful, you will win some friends, Riddell. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build it anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. Can you know that you deserve this? Can you feel that in your heart? Do you know that there's something every time you walk out a door and you go into a new place, there's a new opportunity that's waiting for you? Can you feel that in your heart? No matter what age, no matter what socioeconomic status, no matter what is how you identify yourself, there is an opportunity beyond anything that you do. You know in your heart that you could destroy that opportunity or that you could let it come into your heart. That's how powerful you are. It's a choice is you. It's yours. And Jesus said this over and over. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight, Mr. Dillon. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you have anyway. What I have done to the least of them, you have done unto me. In the final analysis, she says it is between you and your God. It was never between you and them anyways. Right? So how do I love God with all my heart, straight soul and mind? How do I do that? How would you, as a parent, want your child to express fully? How would you want that? By accepting that they deserve it, right? Because in the end of it, it's not about deserving. It's about a truth. It's about a truth. It's here. The tabernacle of God is with men. Right here, right now, not after you've taken courses, not after you've gone and done this and gone that. Those will never come. It's about right here and right now, accepting it in your heart. That I am the one presence and the one power, that feeling of strength and protection and love and faith never, ever leaves me. That it goes before me, to the left, to the right, above and below, surrounds and infuses me with an unconditional love. It doesn't matter where I've been, what I've done, or what I will do. Remember, the one thing you should always remember on is whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you focus on. Be very mindful of what you're focusing on. When you turn on that little tube and you're tempted to go off and start thinking in the group thing, maybe start judging people or being unkind, turn it off. Is it going to hurt you not to listen to the 5 o'clock news? Are you so bored in your life that that's all you have to do? If that's the case, then start reading and listening to some more spiritual things, right? Because you're investing in the rest of your life. You're investing in the rest of your life, right? Can you guys feel? Can you feel what the message is taking you? It's to the I am. It's to the presence here. The presence now is the most real thing that you could ever have or experience in your life. And when this is all over, and we're reflecting back on it, you're going to remember the presence of this moment here and now. We are grateful for this. Take this into prayer with me as we join together in one heart, one mind, and we allow kindness to come forth from our heart. We allow it to circulate back to us. We allow ourselves to grace others and to grace ourselves. And we know sometimes we have to push that to others so they can come back to us. We allow ourselves to do whatever we are guided for by Spirit. We allow gratitude to well up in our life until it overflows into every aspect of our life and everyone that it touches. For this, we are grateful. By the power and blood of Christ, we say amen. Amen. Thank you, God. Thank you. This one? Thank God for iPhones, huh? Bluetooth, smart speakers.
I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful. So grateful. Oh, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. So I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Now thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. I want to say thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you. Say thank you. So I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. I want to say thank you. Say thank you. Just thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you. Say thank you. say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now our offering time. And so if you would take what you're going to share with us, and we'll go on have our offering blessing. Divine Mother, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
May I do the offering? Bless the offering.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So let's bless these offerings right now, and the kindness of the hearts that they can come out and bless everyone that it touches with kindness, with peace, with love, knowing that the presence and power that touches everywhere is only one, comes back to this ministry, and of course expresses the mirror-like effect of blessing us, growing us, evolving us into a greater expression of service. Thank you, God. So it is, amen. Okay, now it's our peace song.
Everybody up?
I am